Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to review 4 different types of manscaping tools, or you want to call it the ball trimmers. The first one is called the Manscaped, the second one is called balls.co, third one is Meridian, and the fourth one is from a local brand called Bovem. So which of them are really good? So looking into the size, as you can see, the Manscaped and balls.co are much slimmer as compared to the Meridian and Bovem. Looking deeper into the Manscaped, you can see it is a more angular design as compared to their counterparts, which are more rounded. The texture is both matte and the glossy part. So when it comes to handling, you can see that my thumb can firmly place on this flat surface here. For the balls.co, you can see the surface is rounded and you can see that it's matte, and on this bottom part of the front have some grip to it, and at the back is just a smooth matte. Overall, it's also quite a firm grip, especially here you can see there's also additional frictions for you to able to hold it more firmly. For the Meridian and the Bovem, you can see that the shape is almost quite similar. It's rounded, it's matte, feeling is almost the same. Meridian has almost smooth surface throughout. Because it's rubbery texture, I believe the grip will be not too bad. For the Bovem part, there's a slight friction at the back, rough friction here or rough surface over here, so it does give a good handling at the bottom. Looking at the trimmer guard, all 4 trimmers comes with a trimmer comb. For the Manscaped, it comes with 2 types of trimmer comb. The first one will be the 3 and 6 millimeter. The second one, which is much thicker here, represents the 10 millimeter and 30 millimeter. So you can install them easily onto the trimmer. So for the balls.co, it only comes with 1 trimmer guard, but it have 3 length settings, which are 3, 4.5 and 6 millimeter. For Meridian, you can see their trimmer combs are much thicker, and you can see that it comes with 4 different length settings as well: 3, 6, 9 and 12. For Bovem, it only comes with 1 trimmer comb, which is the 3 and 6 millimeter setting. So how easy to install the trimmer combs? Personally, I feel the Manscaped and the balls.co are much easier, a more well designed one. As you can see, for me to install, I just have to, there you go, and I can adjust 2 lengths per trimmer comb. So it's very easily installed. And to take it out, I just need to push to the back, and there you go. Similar for balls.co, you can see the design is quite similar. And once you hear the click, it's also installed, and here we have 3 different length settings for balls.co. Now comes with the Meridian and Bovem. Trimmer combs are much thicker as compared to the Manscaped and balls.co. You can see that I have to really find the point of installing the trimmer comb. Try to find the right space to have that click, and there you go. So if I want to switch between lengths, I can't push or pull. I have to take it out, reverse the trimmer comb, and fit it in again. Similar for this Bovem as well. You can see sometimes it gets a little bit slippery. Okay. There you go. When it comes to the battery power, the Manscaped, balls.co and Bovem all uses 600 mAh, whereas the Meridian ones, much powerful, uses the 800 mAh. And as you use, you always want to know how much battery is left. For the Manscaped, there's a tri-level battery indicator. So there's 3 levels that you will find. Whenever it reaches right to the bottom, you know it's going to be out of battery and it's time for a charge. For balls.co, there's no battery indicator. There's just a light up to their power button. You wouldn't know whenever there's low battery. For Meridian, there's 3 level of battery indicator as well. As you can see here, there's only 2 out of 3, and once you reach to the bottom, I know I will need to charge. And for Bovem, there's also a battery indicator here, much more like a gradient, and I believe it's also around 3 levels. Let's talk about the battery charging duration and usage duration. For the Manscaped, it will take up to 300 minutes for 90 minutes use. So that's average around 0.3 minutes for every minute of charge. For balls.co, it will take 90 minutes to charge for 60 minutes of usage. So that's around 0.7 minutes usage per minute charge. For the Meridian, it's around 120 minutes charging for 90 minutes use. So that's around 0.75 minutes of usage for a minute charge. And lastly, for the Bovem, takes up to 240 minutes for 120 minutes use. So that's around 0.5 minutes use for every minute charge. Overall, Meridian is the most efficient in terms of the battery usage, which is 0.75 minute use for every minute charge. When it comes to charging, only the Manscaped has a wireless docking charger. However, on the dock, you still have to connect to a USB cable, whereas for the rest of them, the Boss.co also uses a USB-C. For the Meridian, you will have a standard USB plug. Finally, for the Bovem, you will also use a USB-C connect directly to the trimmer. So which of them have a torchlight? You can see that the Manscaped has a 400K LED. You can turn off by pressing down the power button and hold for 3 seconds. For the Boss.co as well, it uses an 8000K LED, so it's much brighter as you can see. For the Meridian, you can't trim in the dark, I believe, because you don't have any lighting. And Bovem also has an 8000K LED light. When it comes to traveling, travel lock is something it's important. For the Manscaped, they do have a travel lock. What you have to do is just to press the power button 3 times to lock it, and you will see the battery indicator here. So once the indicator is showing towards upwards, means it won't turn on. See? As I press, there's no turning on. So if I want to unlock it, I have to press 3 times again, and you can see the indicator shows downwards, and I can activate the trimmer again. For the rest of the 3 trimmers, there's no travel lock. For the Meridian one, you have a travel case, so that might help to prevent any accidental turning on of the trimmer. For waterproof feature, all 4 of them is yes, 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 yes. In terms of the speed, the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is the fastest, or rather has the highest frequency of 7000 RPM. So this is going to cut your hair pretty fast. For the Boss.co, it's lower at 6200 RPM. Meridian is most gentle trimmer among the all with 6000 RPM, and Bovem it's 6005. So there's definitely big differences between the Manscaped and Meridian. Personally, both never give me any cuts, but definitely Meridian is something more slow and steady. Manscaped is getting the job done pretty fast. So which 4 of them is the quietest? You will hear that Manscaped is the softest. Not too soft, but among the 4 is the quietest. So this is the Manscaped. The Boss.co is pretty loud. Meridian is not too bad. And finally Bovem. It's a little bit rough. So let's talk about the blade. All 4 of them have a similar build, which uses the ceramic blade, as you can see on the white color part, and a stainless steel, which is a static blade. Ceramic blade can last longer and able to cut more efficiently. I have tried all 4 of them. For the Manscaped and Boss.co, able to trim places that are narrower, and they are able to trim quite cleanly as well. On the other hand, for the Meridian and Bovem, so in terms of getting cut, I didn't get cuts at all, but when it comes to the narrower area, probably you're going to open yourself up wider so that you can reach to those parts, but you don't have to be afraid of getting yourself cut, especially if you're using a trimmer comb. If you don't use a trimmer comb, that's not a problem, but just don't go perpendicular, use it on a slanted angle. When it comes to uninstalling and installing new blades, all 4 of them have a similar technique, which is basically pushing out the blades outwards. There you go. And when you want to reinstall back, make sure you get the bottom fit into the right position and just push back in. For Boss.co, you can see it's similar as well. For Meridian and Bovem, despite their wider width, it's not hard to install and uninstall. You won't get yourself cut as well as you push it out. There you go. When it comes to the price point, Manscaped definitely is the most luxurious one. It's selling at $89.99. Boss.co is selling at $69. Meridian at $74. And the most affordable one, it's Bovem, which is selling at $59.90. If you're gonna get any of them, I have promo codes down in the link description below. Feel free to use it. Definitely supports the channel as well. When it comes to the warranty, Manscaped is not so generous. It's 90 days if you purchase using the one-time purchase purchase. But if you decided to use the subscription plan, they have 1 year. However, for Boss.co, it's 1 year for a one-time purchase. But if you decided to go with the subscription plan, it's unlimited. For Meridian and Bovem, it's all 1 year respectively. So this is my final verdict. If you are a frequent traveler, Manscaped is definitely the most travel-friendly one with their Travelog feature. And of course, it's more luxurious as well if you look at the design. If you are using at home, the other three works. Meridian, Boss.com and Bovem. In terms of price friendliness, Bovem is the most affordable among them all. If you have very narrow areas that you constantly need to shave, I would recommend Manscaped or the Boss.co as they have narrower width. In terms of gentleness to trim, or if you are a beginner user, I would suggest using the Meridian or Bovem or even the Boss.co, but personally I would choose the Meridian because it is lowest in terms of the RPM, and apparently many females also like to use Meridian because of its gentleness, slow and steady way of trimming. Despite having so many options here, there's no one size fits all. Whatever I've shared just now, I hope you find it useful. If you have any question, feel free to comment in the section below, or you have used any of these products, share your experience as well. Till then, I will see you in the next video. Peace out!